What's going on, guys, and welcome to the channel where we talk about e-commerce, social media strategy, and all things entrepreneur. If you want to see videos like that, make sure you drop below, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell so you know when I'm posting videos. So today I'm going to go over some of my top tips and ideas to get your Instagram to grow organically. So in my last video, I talked about why you shouldn't buy fake followers, gave an update on my situation with fake followers. So I'll leave a link in the description for that if you want to go back and check that out. But today we're going to talk about how to do it the right way and how to grow organically. So let's get into it. Alright guys, so I'm just going to go over a list of like 10 or so tips to grow organically and to avoid some of kind of the mishaps that I've had. So the first tip I have is to get rid of any fake accounts. So if you've bought any fake followers like I mentioned, or if you just have, people that are following you that are like spam accounts, go kind of review your followers and start deleting them, reporting them as spam, and just, blocking them from following you. Because when you have accounts that basically don't interact with you or are fake, this hurts your engagement rate and basically lowers, you in the algorithm by Instagram. So they're gonna see these fake followers still count as followers and they're not engaging with you, so it's gonna lower your engagement rate and ultimately hurt you. So I would just do a constant cleanup of your followers, your follower count, and when you're going through notifications and you see somebody's follow you, just give them a quick look and see who they are and check their quality, the quality of their profile and what they do. So the second one, and these are kind of just in a random order how I came up and thought about them. I might add a couple as I go. The second one's, so do giveaways. So if you do any kind of selling, if you have, I know a lot of you that follow are Shopify store owners. If you sell any products on Amazon, or if you have like an ebook, do some kind of giveaway to generate buzz. Do a post or in a story about a giveaway that you're doing. Give away a book, a product. And make sure that people, you have to like this and maybe comment something in order to be entered in the giveaway. So giveaways are huge to generate buzz, and people want to win free stuff, so they're almost always gonna participate because it's a little effort for them, but in the long run it does a lot for you. So the third one, exchange shoutouts with similar accounts. So say you have 10,000 followers, and make sure that they're real followers, and you're in, like, I don't know, the skateboarding niche. You're a skateboarder, you have 10,000 followers. Go find 3 or 4 other skateboarders that have, between 8 and 12,000 followers, and kind of form a little group with them, and exchange shoutouts. Maybe you can, post a pic of them, and they can post a pic of you, and you can just, either you can decide what you want to say about them, or vice versa, but, try to spread your profile onto others so that they're shouting you out, directing a whole different audience over to you, and then you can reciprocate and do the same. It's not going to work if you have 10,000 followers and you want to do 100,000. In that case, you can still do a shout out, but they're going to shout you out and you're going to have to pay for it. So there's 2 ways to go about that. I would only usually do a paid shout out if I wanted to promote a product or basically sell something. I wouldn't do it just for the heck of it, but I mean, it's always an option if you have the budget to basically put down to grow your profile, or if you just you really want to get a lot of followers for whatever reason. So shout outs are huge. The next one, so when you're posting, ask questions in your post. So maybe you can say, like, the new year just passed, you can say, just set my 2018 goals, have you, type yes if you have, or do you agree, type yes if you agree in the comments. And by asking people to do something, you're automatically going to see an increase in engagement. People, it might not, everybody's going to do it, but by asking a question or by asking somebody to do something, they're much more likely to actually follow through and do it than if you had not asked. So and obviously generating, even if it's just a bunch of yes comments, generating any kind of comments and likes and engagement is going to boost you up in popularity, and your post is going to be seen by more people. So the next one is tell people to tag. So have people tag other people who would like a post. So if you're a skateboarder and you just posted a trick, like a cool trick that you did, maybe in the caption you say, post a skateboarder who can do this trick, or post a skateboarder who wish they could do this trick. Anything like that. That way, not only are you getting one person to engage by putting a comment, but you're also having them tag somebody who and then is gonna, go check their feed. They're gonna see that they were tagged, and then they're gonna come over and look at it and also probably engage with your post. Either they're gonna like the comment, like the post, maybe they're gonna comment and tag somebody. So, that's how people end up getting posts to go viral and get a lot of engagement, by asking people to tag other people who would like the content that you're posting. And you can just branch out your audience like that too. So the next one, following people, but just keep a good ratio. So what I mean by this is, sometimes you'll see accounts that, they have 10,000 followers and they're only following like 3 people. I mean, there is some truth to, having a really good ratio where you have a lot of followers, but you're not really following anybody. But at the same time, you have to, how are you going to be engaging with like a community and following people that are around your niche if you're not actually following anybody on the platform? So, I mean, use the platform for what it's made for, right? It's made for following and engaging with a group of people. Now, the one thing I would say, just make sure that you do keep a good ratio. So I would never be following more people than you have following you if you're a brand or just, trying to become an influencer, because for some reason that it's just the psychology thing, it just, people don't like to see it, and it kind of looks spammy, like you might be fake. I would prevent that. But there's nothing wrong with keeping like a 1 to 3. So maybe if you have 300 people following you, you're following 100. I would be careful not to go, into the thousands and thousands of people that you're following, because one, it doesn't look that great, and two, you can't really realistically follow that many people, right? Your newsfeed will just be crazy. You can't actually follow anybody that you want to follow. So there's no hard numbers that I would say, but don't follow like nobody, because what's the point of that? And the more people you follow, you're gonna show up in that little recommended followers. So when other people go look at other pages like yours, Instagram will recommend you for them to follow too. So get engaged, follow people, just make sure that they are specific and either you really like the content they're posting, or they have something to do with basically the industry or the niche that you're in. So the next one's not to overuse hashtags. So, I mean, this video is obviously going to get outdated. The algorithm for Instagram is always changing, but I have found and seen it on, a lot of blogs lately that a lower amount of hashtags has actually been performing more or performing better. So I know that you have up to 30 hashtags that you can use on any given post that you do. But a lot of people are suggesting to stick between 8 to 12, or I think 10 to 12 hashtags. And so make your hashtags more specific, and don't overdo it. It's very unlikely that you're going to have 30 hashtags that are really going to be applicable, that aren't going to seem spammy, right? Like, you just don't need 30. I know there's people that disagree with this level of thinking. I have switched on some of my profiles to only doing sometimes like 7, 8, or 9, and I see really good engagement with that too. So kind of test it with your own audience, test with the different numbers, and try to find a range where you feel comfortable. But having 30, while I don't think there's any penalty for having it because it's within the rules. I'm just reporting what I've seen and what other people are also saying as well. Next is to use less popular hashtags and vary the popularity. So yeah, this one's big, especially for newer accounts. So for the first thing, if you only have like 1,000 followers, you're not going to want to use a hashtag like, I don't know, Throwback Thursday or like Instagood, like ones that have millions and millions of people, thousands and thousands that do it every single day, because you're never going to reach that explore page, right? So whenever you go look up a hashtag, those first like 9 posts for the explore page for that hashtag are what everybody's going to see for the people that are like following it, and the people that are going to basically look at that hashtag and see what the most popular content is. So you're never going to have a chance to rank on some of those more popular hashtags. While you should use them if they're applicable, and you'll get put in that category, and it'll help you kind of rank. You're not going to rank on the explore page. So try to find something, that isn't something that nobody is going to see, but something that you have a better chance for ranking at. Say if you get like a few hundred likes or 100 likes, you'll be able to get up on that explore page for a day or even a couple hours or something, and that's just going to help you you're going to grow organically, because when people come search those hashtags and you're up there on the explore page, they're going to want to go click you, see what you're all about, and maybe follow you or like some of your stuff. So just switch up the hashtags. So what I mean by vary the popularity, pick some hashtags that only maybe have 100,000 posts, and maybe a couple that have 500,000, a couple that have 1 million, and so on, and adjust it based on how many followers you have, because an account that has 1,000 followers is not going to be able to rank for the same hashtags that an account that has even 10,000 followers. The next one's engagement groups. So this one is definitely a little bit more, I can't say whether or not you should or should not do this. I know by using engagement groups, if you're not sure what they are, it's just groups of people who get together, sometimes on like Telegram, which is an app, and they like a bunch of other people's or comment on a bunch of other people's posts, and then the other people will reciprocate and like yours. Now, while it is increasing your engagement, it is temporary, right? Most of these people are not going to follow you. It's kind of like a false engagement. So if you're not going to keep up with the engagement every single day, and it does become a task to try to maintain the engagement, it's eventually going to dip, and I don't know if that could hurt your chances in the algorithm. If Instagram sees riding at a really high engagement, and then all of a sudden you tank because you didn't participate in the groups that day. The engagement groups are definitely getting a little bit outdated. They're from a while back to kind of beat the changes to Instagram's algorithm. They definitely still work, especially if you're doing like a promoted post or something that you really, really want to get out there. They work great, but I wouldn't overly use them, because eventually you're probably not going to want to be in these groups, and your engagement is going to tank, and you just don't want that to hurt you in the long run. And Instagram's always getting smarter about how they go about with their algorithm. So I would say do that at your own risk. So the next one, create stories and story highlights. So stories is becoming huge, right? I think I read an article, it was a while back now, that Instagram actually overcame Snapchat in the amount of Instagram stories versus the Snapchat's active users every day. So, I mean, that's huge. There's more people just using the video and the story feature on Instagram than there are on Snapchat altogether. So what that means for you is you need to be utilizing these stories, right? If there's this many people that are using them, you need to be one of them. And the cool thing about stories is that the people that follow you, it goes up in that top bar. So while you might not come up in their news feed, you will come up in that Instagram stories feed. So it just gives you another chance to be seen, another chance to remind your audience, that they're following you, that you're still making content, for them to come back over to your profile and check out what you're doing. And then the story highlights, one of the newest features that Instagram's added is that you can put different stories as highlights right below your bio. So I would just make some of your cool highlights that you've had, or like an announcement, or maybe some products you're selling, put those up there for when people come to your profile, what you want them to see, some of the cool stuff, what you've had the most people watch maybe in the last month. Save some of that stuff and put them up on the highlights, and just fill out your profile more and make it look like you're really engaged with your audience and you're always making content. So we're almost done. So the next one is switch up your hashtag. So don't always use the same one. So I've actually seen people, as well as myself, when you overuse hashtags, sometimes Instagram will actually what's called shadow ban you. So say you use, I don't know, Instagood as a hashtag for every single one of your posts, and you're posting like 2-3 times a day, and every single day. Eventually, I don't know why Instagram might look at this as maybe spammy, or maybe the hashtag gets blocked for a little bit, and then something happens with your profile because you were associated with that hashtag. Whatever it may be, if you use the hashtag for too many times in a row, you might stop showing up on basically the hashtag feed among all of your hashtags that you're using. I've had it happen a couple times, and it might have to do with just maybe liking too many things and commenting too many times and kind of Instagram looking at my account as being kind of spammy. But even if that's not the case, don't use the same hashtags every time, because by switching up your hashtags, you're able to reach a different audience every time, people that might follow a different one. So be creative and don't just stick to the same things every time. There's tons and tons of hashtags that have a lot of range of how popular they are. So just play with it a little bit and make them relevant to each post. So yeah, that's all I have to say about that. So the last thing is to post at least once a day. So as far as Instagram goes, consistency is key. And I would even post more than once a day, maybe one in the morning, one at night, maybe even 3 times, depending on the content that you're doing. You definitely don't want to be like selling people stuff 3 times a day, because that's gonna get old real quick. They're gonna unfollow you because people don't want to be sold to 24/7. But if you're posting engaging content 2 to 3 times a day is not too much where people are not gonna like it. At the minimum, you got to post once a day to keep people engaged, to remind people that they're following you, to get your brand, your name out there. If you're not going to post at least once a day, then I wouldn't really worry about growing too much, right? Because if you're not going to commit to it on a daily basis, then I wouldn't worry about it too much. Yeah, at least once a day, up to 3 times. Don't go crazy. And if you start posting 2 or 3 times a day and you feel like you want to post more, that's when maybe you can switch over to your Instagram stories and post some stuff on there, because there's people that post stories all day long and you can just kind of switch over them, and the people that do want to watch them can watch them. So if you feel like you have that much content, go over to stories and start posting stuff on there. So yeah, that's about all my tips. Hopefully you guys like this. If you want to see more just ways to grow organically, or if you want me to expand on some of this stuff, like case studies about doing giveaways, or how to find people to do shout outs, let me know in the comments and I'll be sure to expand on some of these tips. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching. Hopefully this will give you some ideas and some tips to start growing your Instagram profile. I know that the Instagram algorithm is always changing, but based on what I've done, learned the hard way, I would stick to doing things the right way. Do things organically and don't try to cheat the system by buying followers, buying likes, comments. Sometimes engagement groups are okay, but it's only temporary inflation of what's actually going on. So just focus on getting good quality followers, and it's just going to take time. You can't buy your way out of the time. So if you want to see videos like this, make sure you drop below, smash the like button, and drop a comment and let me know what you guys want to see in some of the next videos. So I'll catch you in the next one.